I hope that Daniel 2 stirred you and encouraged you as you read it and as you listened to it being preached. The truths it sets before us are vital as we seek to put our trust in God whilst living in a modern day Babylon. All the greatest kingdoms of this earth and all the most important people on this earth, they have nothing impressive to offer that hasn't already been given to them by God. And despite great wealth or prestige or power or success or anything else, unless a person belongs to God's kingdom, which will last forever, well then they've got nothing to look forward to but dust and judgment. Unless we understand this, we're just not going to live any differently from the people around us in this world. We're not going to live pure lives if we don't trust that our God is on the throne that matters, the throne of the universe, the throne of grace. Well, in the New Testament, in 1 Corinthians, Paul tries to get the Christians to realise that the world is full of bluffers who think they've got what is needed for life, who want others to think that they've got what is needed for life, but who, when compared to King Jesus, have got nothing that really matters. 1 Corinthians 1 verse 18 to 25, you might want to get your Bible and read this as well. This is what it says: "For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved it is the power of God. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, the intelligence of the intelligent I will frustrate. Where is the wise person? Where is the teacher of the law? Where is the philosopher of this age? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of the world? For since in the wisdom of God the world through its wisdom did not know him, God was pleased through the foolishness of what was preached to save those who believe. Jews demand signs and Greeks look for wisdom. But we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and foolishness to Gentiles. But to those whom God has called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ, the power of God and the wisdom of God. For the foolishness of God is wiser than human wisdom, and the weakness of God is stronger than human strength." Christchurch Riverside, as we think through Daniel chapter 2, and as we go into home groups this week to chew over it more and to seek to live obediently and submissively underneath it, as we try to respond correctly to that encouragement in Daniel 2 to put our trust in God as we live in this hostile and skeptical culture, like we must fix our eyes on Jesus Christ. Yes, the message of the God who went to the cross, who died, who rose again, well, that is a message that seems like foolishness to the many people around us who are convinced of their own wisdom, convinced of their own powers of reason. It's an embarrassing message for them to hear, and it does lead to trials and some suffering and some persecution anyway for us who would proclaim it. But to those who the King of the universe calls into his kingdom, well, that message is life-changing, eternity-changing dynamite. So don't let the laughs or the hostility of this world silence you. The sad thing is that the intelligence that intelligent people possess, it's been gifted to them by God. They just don't realise it. The morality that moral people possess, well, that's on loan from God. But people don't realise it, they don't acknowledge it. The respect that some people get from others, that's just simply a pale reflection of just a ray of God's glory. But once again, God is not acknowledged in that. You see, this world may look the part, but without Jesus Christ as their Lord, they are all bluffers. The world has nothing to offer. You see, we don't need to be like the people around us. The people around us need what we have got. They need to hear the glorious gospel of Jesus Christ. They need to see a local church living amongst them, living out the entailments of this glorious gospel, being transformed more and more, so that the glory of God shines out from amongst us as we love one another, as we love our great God, as we love the people around us. So put your trust in God. Fear him, and you need fear nobody else. And let's live as strange Daniels in this pretty hostile Babylon for God's glory, for the good of God's people, and for the reaching of the nations. Amen.